I'm a psychic intuitive and I've been reading tarot since I've been 14 years old. I am so happy to be with you guys today because my dear friend Vanita, that I've known for many, many years, she is celebrating 8 years on her channel. So I felt that this would be a great thing to do, to interview her, to get to know, for you guys to know her as much as I know her, because we've had a very long friendship for many, many, many years. And I love her so much. So I wanted to be the person to, introduce more about her on for her. So I want to just first give you guys a background about her, and then I have a couple of questions I want to ask her. And so I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you guys like it this way, you want us to continue this way, hit that like button. Let us know in the comments below.
So,
All right.
Jennifer.
Okay. Vanita Lenka, born in New Delhi and now based in Muscat, Oman, is a globally respected Vedic astrologer with over 30 years of practical and more than 5,000 personal readings worldwide. She began studying astrology at age 10, inspired by her grandmother's stories of the moon cycles. Known for her honest and practical and fear-free guidance, Vanita specializes in transits, vocational mapping, medical and fertility astrology, electoral charts, remedies, and business consultations. She breaks the stereotype of traditional astrologers by combining deep classical knowledge with an approachable modern style. In October 2017, she launched her YouTube channel, now a hub for daily, weekly, and monthly forecasts, earning her the title, The Transit Queen. Her content focuses on real-world timing, remedies, and empowering viewers to navigate the life cycles with awareness. Now, she's had very extensive trainings by well-known Vedic astrologers. Vanita's core philosophy is astrology should empower, not intimidate. It's about clarity, timing, and conscious choices. Okay, so I hope you don't mind, but I have made a few questions for you to really
First, I want to thank you, Jennifer. It was wonderful, Thank you,
Absolutely.
thank you, thank you so much.
Thank
It
you.
was a nice intro, and I'm so touched that you proposed this, that
Mm,
let's do this video this way, and you should be my guest. But no, the kind of bond that we share, I must
mm,
tell everyone that the friendship bond. Yesterday only I was saying I will let you speak also. Actually, I'm
mm.
so overwhelmed. Yesterday I was making this a video on Venus, and something happened that why don't you collaborate and why don't you interview, or why don't you go and get the interview done on someone else's channel or something like that. And I said that the podcast and the interviews, whosoever is conducting these days, is about they're charging for that.
Mm,
And
mm.
whosoever is coming on my channel, or I invite them, or you as a matter of fact invite me, we are friends, we are a
Yeah.
community. We are not supposed to, for publicity sake, charge money from each other. We are friends,
Mm,
and I
mm.
cannot do it. So everybody was so excited about it, and they didn't know this, that people charge for inviting astrologers on their channel. So that was something.
Wow.
And you said that, no, I'm going to celebrate it this way. And that was so moving and so touching. And I said, no, let's do it this way.
Yes.
As you rightly put the title also, mind-blowing interview.
Mhm.
Starting itself. So thank you so much. Thanks again for doing this for my channel, and people should know me also this way more. I'm sure they want to know so many other things about
Mm.
my personal life also. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Jennifer, and my
Thank
community.
you. Thank you for
Thank,
being my dear friend. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Okay, so let's start out with, I really want to get more of a background because I really do want to blow your mind, guys, because she does have a lot of amazing things that happened with her life and the progression of how she became who she was. So I think that you guys need to know some of these things as well. So we're going to start off by asking, what inspired you at the age of 10 to start studying the moon and astrology?
Well, firstly, I must tell you that whosoever is an astrologer Astrology chooses them. Remember, it is not about me choosing astrology or me learning astrology. I will always be a student. That is first and the foremost thing. And I was never in an atmosphere where, people were into astrology or something. It was just my parental grandmother who was all the time, into spiritual pursuits. There was Amavasya Purnima, that is, we used to have prayers, pujas at home, waxing and waning moon cycles. And that actually, pulled me that what is this, why the at that age only, I used to say why the moon is not visible, why the moon is so big. So, like a curious child, I used to ask my grandmother about it. And that is how she started to tell me about Purnima, Amavasya, full moon, new moon. And she started to narrate mythological tales. We used to have for, Mahabharata, Ramayana, and then we used to have the Shani Dev's puja. And then we used to watch these series, on the television, Mahabharata, Ramayana, and any of the Vikram Vetal. I used to watch a lot, though that was not anywhere connected. But, these um, are the core, I would say, the basics of your life that, lead to. And gradually it just changed my life path. I was in my own studies and all that I was doing, and it just faded away somewhere. But then gradually, when I grew big, I met someone who was traveling. I used to commute by the bus, to my workplace. And one fine day, this lady who sat next to me, she boarded the bus from Bharti Vidya Bhavan, and she was a student of Dr. Ken Rao, and she had this whole lot of books, and she was drawing this horoscope in the bus. She was sitting right next to me that first time happened. And then I just don't know. I started to say, oh, this is planet Moon, this is planet Saturn, and Saturn is very slow. And I started to speak about the planets, and she was like shocked that, how could you predict? Because I said something, you won't believe, Jennifer. I said something which was really, it was for me also a shock. It was a surprise.
Mhm.
How could I do it? And the way she, started to talk about it, the more we spoke, the more we met, gradually it just, made me more interested towards and pulled towards this subject. So that is how, it started. And then, of course, I was called upon when she told, Dr. Ken Rao. She met and she told that this girl is there who knows astrology. He says astrology chose her. He said that to her. He says, astrology chose her. So she is meant to be an astrologer. Bring her here. He said like that. And in the
That's so
English,
true. That's so
yeah,
true. I wanted
yeah,
to say that because actually that's what they say about tarot too. It's like if
right.
if you receive your first deck from someone else, which is what
Mm.
happened, it means that it chose
See,
you. Yeah.
see, that's so true. And that is how it happened. And I went and I started learning. He says, no, you must learn. It should be in a structured manner so that you can just follow it and do it and practice it. And you must help others. You should do it for helping others. So that is how it started. And here am I in front of you guys doing all the things related to astrology.
Yes, and you're doing a wonderful job.
Oh,
So
thank
let's
you.
talk about, since you have so much experience and you have such great teachers. So after 30 years in the field, what's the biggest lesson with astrology that has taught you about your life?
Oh, that's a tough one. See, there are so many, many things.
Mm.
See, the biggest lesson, uh, like, what's the biggest lesson you said, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. See,
So I don't want the noise in my background to
okay, okay. No
hurt the
worries.
interview.
No problem. So, what exactly, is my biggest thing that I've learned is in astrology, that dasha is destiny's timing. It is your destiny's timing. When we talk about Mahadasha, Antardasha, that is the one which sets the backdrop of your uh, everything. You're you're born with something. Okay, that's what I have experienced myself also. If dasha change, people change, right? So if you have a particular promise in your chart, definitely that will happen when there is a dasha. The second lesson that I was just thinking about now is humility. Have faith in remedies, and never compare your life to another's. That is something that everyone should follow. And you should know that your karma is your karma. And whatever is going to happen is because of your karmic timetable. It will happen. It will happen. When the karmic account with the person finishes, I always say that you call it quits. It's finish. And acceptance is liberation. Acceptance is liberation. If you don't learn it easily, you will have to learn it hard way. That is what. What do you think?
Actually, I agree with you, and because I've studied, I love to learn, and I've constantly researched about different philosophies and stuff like that. It's so true. You're right. That's true. So I want to know actually why you're called the transit queen. Why do you focus so much on the transit, the transits, the planetary
It
transits?
just was, I don't know how it happened. Yeah, I'm so conscious.
How does that happen?
Hmm. Just happened, actually. Actually, I don't want to dramatize it so much, but like it was genuinely, I started with imparting my knowledge on astrology. That was the only thing I wanted to do. And gradually, I realized that transits are playing a very important role in everyone's life. And people who are forecasting on the YouTube at that time, there were very few and very limited people who were doing it. So when I saw them, I thought that, like, because change is the only constant, as we all know. So what happens, when you are seeing people sharing their knowledge in a very half ripened, or I would say not ripened information, so it really hurts you. So I thought that maybe it is not the right way of forecasting. On Nobody is doing it. So that's what just pulled me. So I track 32, from past 32 years now. I've seen Saturn cycle, 30 years cycle. Then I've seen 12 years cycles of Jupiter's, and I've seen 18-year cycles of Rahu Ketu. So these are something which actually on my personal plane also have played a very important role. Every 9 years there's an inverse return of Rahu Ketu also. So that is how I felt that this is required, and I just wanted to do it unconditionally, and I wanted to give the right way of predicting, forecasting. So that is how I did, and I just didn't stop. And then one fine day I started with my weeklies. The weekly started, say, when I started my channel 8 years back. So somewhere around 7.5 or 7 years back, I started weeklies, or maybe it was eight. Yeah, it was 7.5 years ago that I started weeklies, and I've never, not even once, I've missed it. Not even once. The weeklies have not. I've never ever missed it, and that is where I thought that yes, this is the commitment. And maybe people realized that, yeah, she's doing a hard work and she's doing the right way. So let's give her the title of Transit Queen. Yeah, thank you so much to my audience. Yeah.
So this next question, I was thinking about the fact that,
Mhm.
I know because I know you, how much work that you put into things. Okay.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
want your viewers to kind of understand how much work you put into things. So I wanted you to tell them, because you told me before, how do you prepare your daily, weekly, and monthly forecasts for YouTube?
Mhm. Okay. Okay, nice question. So very related to me.
Mm.
See, what I'm doing, I told you, from past so many years. So basically, weeklies, dailies, I have, I'm not doing dailies right now, but I really wish to. But dailies is based on moon's ingress in the nakshatras and how the interaction is. Because people want to know whether we should do this thing or not, clearly, like laying the foundation or something like that of anything. So when we talk about weeklies, what I have been doing weeklies and monthlies and yearlies consistently. Weeklies is based on moon's ingress in a particular zone. In For 54 hours, moon remains in a particular zone. Then it crosses for somewhere around 24 to 27 hours in a nakshatra. So for the D9 chart, when you see the Navmansha, it stays for 6 hours in that Navmansha. So you will see that, these are the minutest things I look at when I'm predicting for the weeklies. Okay, moon is transiting Gemini sign, suppose. It is going to be connecting with Jupiter. It is going to be in trine to Rahu. So it has to be a consolidated reading. It cannot be that, okay, moon is in Gemini, so moon is in Gemini will do something, obviously. But is this a complete information? That is what is my way of doing it. I look at the Drik Panchang or the Panchang. You can see what are the nakshatras, what is the moon's ingress, what is the 6 hourly transit of moon. So all these I have to check, and then I have to blend it with the mundane predictions also, that what is it going to be for the global, on the global plane, how is it going to be impacting the market. So I'm studying that, though. The market trends, I'm just studying. I'm not a pro in that. Of course, I will never be a pro. But, there are certain things which I'm trying to understand. And weeklies require a lot of work, actually, because that is what is going to set the tone of your mental setup. Because, see, when we talk about the basic transits of, the major transits of Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, Jupiter, they are not going to be changing so soon. But moon is the swiftest. Mercury, Venus, Mars, sun every month. So it is very essential to check the weeklies and what are the transit positions changing and how is it going to be impacting. So there is a lot of work into it. There's a lot of hard work. I will not say like hard work. Obviously everybody is working hard, but yes, a lot of time goes into it. Now it is like I'm it's on autopilot mode. I know that last week it was there and now it is here. So I just made the weeklies before joining into this session. So I did it because we had to do this one. So yeah, so that is why I say that that's a lot of preparation also, undoubtedly. And no, like depending on the AI and all that. That is something which I don't like doing. Yeah. But
Yes, that's what people have to understand, that you
yeah.
do put a lot of effort and work into what you
Hmm.
do, and
Yeah.
that's what makes you a professional. So, and I really appreciate about you. That's why I always make sure I watch your transit videos. I
Thank
do.
you.
I do. So
Thank
I'm
you.
hoping to blow your mind with this next question, guys,
Uh-huh.
because honestly, she has spoken to me about these things before and they do work. So I wanted to kind of bring that to your attention as well in this interview. So hopefully this will blow your mind with this answer of this question. Okay, so which Vedic technique or nakshatra
Mm-hmm.
remedies do you
Mm-hmm.
find most effective in today's world? I know. I'm throwing a hardball question at you.
No, it's perfectly fine. Actually, see, there are many techniques, if you ask me, to rely on. See, I have read Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. I've read like Gemini astrology. Also, I've learned. But it should not be jumbled up. It is not to be mixed up. That's what I mean to say. Basic thing is that um, when you talk about the techniques, you should go sequentially. Okay. First thing first, stick to the basics, your natal promise. What is your promise in the chart? How are the placements? What is the condition of your ascendant lord? What is the condition? See, our teacher, Isaac sir, in Bharatiya Bhavan, he used to say, the first day when we met him, he said, Lagna Lagnesh, Chandra Chandresh, Dashashesh. That was something which I've never forgotten. And this is like, way back I'm talking about. And it was such a beautiful thing which has engraved into my soul, I think. That is ascendant Lord's condition, moon's lord's condition, like where moon is posited, and the dasha. That is the major sequence that I follow first. Then comes the dasha, of course, of the planet, and then the transit, and then we come to the muhurta. That is the sequence. And then we must see the classical, check the classical tools. In the Brihad Parashara Hora Shastra, we do have the principle of Ashtaka Varga also for looking at the transits. We do check the Nakshatra Padas, then we do check the Bhavat Bhavam principle. D9, D10 chart, whenever I'm doing a reading, I do take into account that as well. Then we do see for day-to-day timing, Chandra Balam. That is very important. Arudha Lagna, I do check also. Tara Balam, Chandra Balam. Then Pushkara Mansha also we have to check. And if we are doing the mundane predictions, the mundane ones, so we have to see the solar ingress charts, we have to see the Sarvotra Bhadra Chakra chart, and there are so many other charts also, which I don't even remember right now, but there are so many of them. And then comes towards the end, the remedies, what exactly should be done. So there are many things that I follow, many techniques that I follow, like Pushkara Navmansha, Maranakaraka, then what do you call Ishta Devata also for remedies. We must see the Kula Devata. Maybe alongside, I might tell you these terms, what do they mean. So that is something, we need to, we cannot just do half baked or, just not following the basics first. Let's stick to the basics, and then we can simply just move on. And of course, extension to this, maybe, it could be that I can tell you what the common mistakes people are making, the astrologers, so-called astrologers these days. If you want me to, I can share with you that also. That is there on my mind right now.
I think you should, because actually I think that this information is good for new astrologers, even astrologers have been doing it for a long time. As we talked about, like, astrology is very overwhelming. It's a lot, there's a lot to learn, and you still feel like a student as much as you learn. So definitely this is useful information. And if you can cut down on, this, and just, for a person who's been doing it a long time, just as you are very professional and you know exactly what you're doing. So yes, definitely share that with me. Or with us.
Oh, thank you. Sure. See, first thing is that it is good. Few things are very good, that there is a lot of enthusiasm. They are democratizing Jyotish learning also, not short videos pull more traction. People are more willing to test techniques. That's good. But, they are making common mistakes. That's what, I want you to fix them also. Maybe I can help you with that. First of all, as I said, don't skip the basics. Okay, don't skip the basics, like stating what ayamsha you're using. That's the basic thing people don't tell. The astrologers don't share. What is the ayamsha? I use ayamsha. I change the ayamsha for different age groups. Do you know that? I don't use Lahiri ayamsha static for everyone. No, I might use KP New. I might use the PV Raman ayamsha also at times, depending on the age groups. Now, that's another story altogether. True nodes or mean nodes. What nodes are you using? What are the grahas degrees people don't share, when they are explaining? What is the difference between the 10-10-10 bifurcation of the dasha? They will never say. Always declare settings and degrees on the screens. Always, when you are showing the chart, it's better. I have not changed my format from 8 years. Jennifer, my format is that I have the North Indian and South Indian chart right there, because people have not come to see me. They are here to listen to the predictions, and they want to understand. Nowadays, people have a lot of interest to understand the charts also, what I'm saying. So not just the predictions. Okay. Now, you must actually, not based on transits alone predict. No, transits alone can never be the tool to predict. Neither they are the event creators. I always say dasha and transits are not the event creators. Fix this ladder. Fix this ladder. Natal promise, dasha, and then transit. That is the ladder that you should follow. Don't ignore the panchang. Why ignore the Panchang? We must know what is the Tithi, we must know what is the week lord, what is the Hora, what is the Moon's Nakshatra, what is the Muhurta. You should actually start your day with the Panchang. If you are an astrologer, that's a common mistake they are making. Then whether you're using a tropical zodiac, you're using a sidereal zodiac, you're using KP, you're using Parashari, you're using Gemini, do you know what you're doing? What you yourself are jumbling it all up, you're mixing it all up. Please don't do that. This is astrology. It's a serious subject. We are trying to help others using this tool. How can we take it so casually? It is not a casual subject. And don't overlook combustion, retro shadow phase. People generally forget to use that. If Mercury transited through the Scorpio sign, will get retrograde and will come back to the Libra sign and will move again those many degrees from Libra to Scorpio. Till the time it reaches the same degrees it went retrograde in Scorpio sign, how is it going to be ignored? It is not going to give the results till the time Mercury gets out of the retrograde period and is moving in that direct motion from there. It cannot be ignored. People are ignoring that. Special aspects they are ignoring. Gandanta they are ignoring. Pushkara Navmansha, suppose, for example, they are ignoring all of these. So we must not. And also, which is a very common practice people are doing, copying hallucinated quotes and techniques from the AI. No source cross-check, no citing text, nothing. Just the drafter is there and not decider, and just going on and on and on. Just the fear-mongering, gemstone selling. They are just doing this nowadays. Nowadays, I've seen people doing a lot of crystals. There are so many types of crystals. You know better. Who am I? You can tell that better. But there are people who are just randomly picking up the, fetching from XYZ person, and they are selling on their platform crystals. Have you verified those crystals? Do they have that kind of, existence, like that they can impact your life? They do help if you use them properly. Okay. And that is how I keep my, my method, which I adopt for others to help others. Rashi based promise, D1, D9, D10. Then I also use, Dasha sign wise predictions. If I'm doing it, general predictions also match up. Why? Because I'm using the Dasha sign. There was, I think, no one on this YouTube platform who said that you should use the Dasha, make that Dasha sign your first house and use it. Nobody was doing it. Though that is a basic thing people are not doing. Dasha Sandhi risks, they don't even know when it's a Chidra Dasha, when there is a transition happening. How crucial is that? People don't use that, right? So we must not ignore the speed of the planet also. We must not forget that there is a retrocombust windows also for Mercury and Venus. They can at the same time get retrograde and combust also. So we are just, doing it superficially, which is not good. I can just simply say, if you want to incorporate AI in Jyotish, do it, but do it in a right way. I request you all, draft outlines. I'm not saying that don't use it, because we are in this world. We are not in the world of landline now. It is the cell phone. We just pick up the call and put, and you book a ticket and you can fly out anywhere in the world. So we are in this era, in this generation where we can use the AI. We have it, it's at disposal, but don't misuse it or don't depend on it blindly. So draft your outlines, generate your checklist. Okay, I want to do this. Check. And also, tidy your language, because, the language which is given on the AI, on the AI platform is not in sync with the Jyotisha. It is not in sync at all, because AI doesn't have the brain. We have it. So we can simply just pick up a few things, use them, but don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Okay. And if you can, use the classic quotes or something, which you really can depend on, say, some remedies checklist also. You can, maybe something like that, that is also good for you. But don't use any kind of what do you call, don't depend too much on these. AI is the assistant, you are the astrologer, right? It's just the assistant. So that is something which I wanted to share with you guys. I hope it helps. Yeah.
Yes, it's the same frustration I had with my own, with tarot. It's like, that's why when I listen to you, I always learn something because you know the proper ways of doing it. But people don't understand. You hurt people when you don't do things in the proper way. Like, for instance, with my, I constantly reiterate the definitions because people don't understand. You need to learn the definitions. You
Mm,
need to learn how to do it properly, and you also need to understand there's a certain intentions towards it, right? But
mm,
if you're just kind of like copy pasting,
mm.
you're
That's
you're
what.
doing injustices to people, and for the student astrologers out there, or even the astrologers have been doing it for a while, you have to understand we're impacting people and we're supposed to
Totally.
be helping people. That's our job.
Yeah.
So I think that it kind of did go into the next question I had, which was how do you make astrology empowering rather than intimidating for your clients? Like, because I know sometimes I feel astrology can be very overwhelming and it's also kind of scary too, because you're just like, I don't want to hear the negative stuff. Oh my
Mm.
God. And then we all dwell on these negative things because we're like, oh my God, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. Oh my God. Like, anytime you hear that you're going to go into the Saturn, like, like, oh God,
Yeah. Yeah.
Saturn's
So
really
true.
bad. This is going to be so bad. So how do you overcome that?
See, we must know, we are sensible astrologers, I think so. Like, we know that it is uh, a guiding tool. It is not to threaten anyone. First of all, we are all educated and we are all aware of this, that we are not here to, and it's all karmic also. I always say that whatever goes around comes around. So I am not the one who will be inculcating fear in anyone. It's not, I can guide others, I can empower others using this tool. I can explain that this is a good period, this is not, avoid. Told yesterday also the same thing, that if there is a divorce happening, I can avert it by saying that don't file a divorce in this period. Maybe, if you do, it will be prolonged, it will be stretched, and you'll be under tremendous stress. It's better that you give it some time, or just try to reconcile, or maybe give it some time, sleep over it, and then think about it. So that is the way I guide them, because I know they are not sitting on this side. They know that, okay, it is because of the dasha she's saying. Maybe if they know, if they don't know, okay, we take it from here. If it's in the person's destiny, the free will, of course, has two options. Of course, we have the choice. So it's up to that person. If he wants to take it, it's fine. If he doesn't want to take it, it's fine. But my role is to guide everybody that this period is good, uplifting for your health, for your relationship, for your dharma, etc., etc., etc. Good, fine, go ahead. Otherwise, if it is not, we have remedies to, at least the remedies are not magic, I must tell you. They align intention with your timing, intention. What is your faith? So, I try to empower everybody through the practical behavioral pattern changes. I have seen people change also when they come to me. I want them to use this tool in a very positive manner to uplift them and to, modify them towards better. That is what I have done, and it has really helped me. And a few examples. Suppose, if you ask me about the remedial part, I don't say that, just for example, recite mantras. Okay, some people who are, who are not non-Hindus, they can't recite mantras. So I tell them to sit in the sunlight for 10 minutes, or breathe, or do the pranayam, or do the surya namaskar, that is surya salutation, sun salutations, in the morning. Or if you are a Hindu, then just offer water in at the sunrise, which is the arghya. Or you should serve the father life figures, mentors, gurus, somebody who is to strengthen your sun if it is afflicted by Rahu, Ketu, or any or Saturn, as a matter of fact. uh, so we can simply just do these kinds of remedies which can strengthen a particular, these are practical remedies that I give. You can also consume jaggery, or you can give the danam, that is donation of that particular grahas, maybe lentils, red lentils for Mars. Suppose Mars says workout. If it is weak, we can strengthen it by sweating it out. When Mars and Saturn combination is there, it is like, the blood flows and the skeleton and bones and all that we see from Mars and Saturn. So I've seen these people, when they have this combination, they have problem in their feet. So at the young age only, you should tell them that, okay, start working out, strengthen your muscles, strengthen your bones, or strengthen your your mass. You should do something about it. So lentils, red lentils, or support the soldiers, or soldiers family who's left without them. So these are also, and also anger management, that is very important if Mars is afflicted. So these are few examples that I tell them, just came in, these are all ingrained, it's all engraved inside me. So even if you ask a remedy in sleep, I will tell you, okay, Mercury, communication, okay, you should be mindful of your communication, you should start journaling, teach a child, or you should keep good relation with your aunt. Your aunt, you have to keep good relationship with, or the female counterparts in the family. So that is a very practical and doable remedy for you guys. So these are, but don't even don't even think that you can rely on these remedies and you're good to go and everything will happen. That is also not possible. That is something which is again a mistake. People should not take it as a magic. You must actually do it. It's all faith based, and only your behavioral changes and also your perspective change can change whatever has to change. But you have to all go through whatever is your karmic debt that you have to pay. Okay.
Yes, I remember one time we had talked about this. We were talking about mantras and how, like, you can't just go around, clean your house, and just do the mantras. It's a more or less an intention to it. It has to have a feeling for it to work. So if you're just kind of like baselessly like saying it over and over and over, it's not gonna do any good. It's not gonna help. It's and all these remedies, it's kind of the same. Oh, I have to do that because I have to do this. I'm gonna do this. Oh, I don't feel like doing it today, but I'm going to do it anyway because I know that I'm supposed to. That's not going to help you. So it's best to just skip it that day, and when you're in that mindset, to keep doing it then, because it is your mindset that changes things, right? Your intention behind it, the feeling behind it. So, and I remember you went on a pilgrimage, and I remember you were sharing with me so many amazing experiences. So my next question leads into that. So what was the most transformative experience of the 27 Nakshatra temple pilgrimage that you did? I mean, I thought it was very amazing. So anyway, I think that you should share it with these guys.
See, first and the foremost is gratitude. I'm so grateful that I could do it. I'm grateful to the divine energies that I could do it. And I really want to keep doing things like these, visiting a pilgrimage and visiting these kinds of places where, there's so much of power and energies, which really quiets your mind and from the noise that you are entrapped in. So that way it was like, it was a therapy for me, it was really therapeutic, when I went there. So uh, it was actually, when you go to such places, they have so much of energy vibrations that you become so humble, you become so focused. What exactly do you want in life? What are you doing in this life? What is it that you should do for others? How you can help the community? I don't know, I might just be sounding like a very philosophical person right now, but I'm telling you, it was like, it changed me from the core. And as it is, Amreshwar Bhaina, whenever I go and meet him, he's one of my gurus, my mentor, in fact, my father. You can call him give him any name, but, someone who has taught me so much already that I think I am very lucky. I feel that I'm very lucky to have such people. I'm surrounded by amazing people. My own husband, he's so spiritual. He's so spiritual. My son. And of course, my mom-in-law was my dad, and my mom-in-law, my mother, they were such people, and I've lost all the three of them. So it's a huge, huge loss for me. I still, dream of my grandmother, my parental grandmother, my grandma. So, these people have actually, maybe blessed me that I could do all this so much. And I'm going to be, I'm going to continue doing this also, because it's such a, um, it churns you from the core. And you should just, go there and ask for nothing, but just say thank you. I just did that. I'm telling you, I had nothing to ask for, honestly speaking. When I went there, I didn't have any feeling of, uh, that I need something. That is something which, or maybe I was totally blank and I was just in tears whenever I was going and visiting the temples. Some were really, having such energies. They say that when you get up in the morning, you see that the abhishekam is done already, of the idols. It's already done. And that was something that really amazed me, that how, without any priest entering and the gates are locked, how the abhishekam was done. That means the divine energies are coming on this planet Earth, and they are themselves doing the abhishekam. That was something that moved me to the core. I still get goosebumps. And the 27 nakshatra, it is not about 27 nakshatra temple trip. It is about my 27 inside, whatever is inside that opened up. I don't know what you call it, but the senses or whatnot, the chakras, or it just empowered me. It just gave me that uh, intense feeling, that churning feeling. It gave me that kind of a feeling where I feel full, I feel satisfied. And see, these things, no, they last for some period, and then you have to go back and do these kind of rituals again. It has timeline timelines. You can't just do it once and it's over. No, we need to go back and do this again and again and again in life if you really want this to stay forever. Okay, so I'm really happy, I'm glad. It was a beautiful experience. Of course, I cannot even describe in words. And my guru Amreshwar Bhaina, I visit him every year. The copper plates, if you have heard of, it just blank, and he will, we just ask our question in our mind, and the question will appear and the answer will appear. That is also amazing experience, which I had soon after my marriage, 31 years back. And that was also something which changed my life. Actually, maybe I got married to this person because of this only, maybe, to somebody. I'm non-Uriya, and my husband is from Orissa. So it was a wonderful. I think I can go on and on and on. So it was a beautiful experience, undoubtedly.
I think you brought up a few things that I thought were interesting. Okay, so like I remember, first of all, let's acknowledge the fact that you had recently gone through a loss, and I remember I was, and I'm very sorry that you're going through this right now, and I'm sure it's very, very difficult to still continue on and doing videos and stuff like that to support people, even though you're going through so much tremendous loss at this time. But I remember I was having a discussion with you, about 2 years ago, and I was saying that I was having some issues because I've lost my brother, about releasing, that pain, that hurt. And you said the issue is when water signs, they hold on
Mm.
to things emotionally, and it's very difficult for them to process that. And I felt like that gave me a really good understanding of why I tend to like the death of my grandmother was, for years, it was something that really troubled me. And she said, oh, all the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. She said, this is, you're going to hold on to that. So I think that was very vital information to know for you guys. Also, I wanted to go into this next question, preface this next question on, now, I think about this a lot, that billionaires learn
Mhm.
astrology, right? That's well known in our society that billionaires learn astrology. And why is that the case? It leads into my next question. How do you see the connection between astrology and business decision making?
Astrology and business decision making.
Yeah, because I know a lot of billionaires learn astrology, and that, for just your students out there, and people that make business decisions need to know this, because obviously the reason why those people are billionaires is because they use astrology. So how would you say that helps in business making, decision making?
See, timing matters in commerce. That is something which is very basic. So we have to have, that electional window. When do we launch Muhurta, which we call Muhurta? When do we hire people? What time we are signing the contracts? Astrology can be used in multiple ways. I cannot just stop using astrology at all. Like even the Hora, I see, what Hora is right now. If I have to sign any agreement or something, I don't do it on Mercury retrograde timing. I can postpone it. And of course, we have to also see where the transit positions of the major grahas are. That is also very important for your success, in business decision making. I'm not saying that you will become billionaire or something overnight or something, but yes, you can avert so many losses, such big losses, such major negative things which can happen as well. So you can use it well, where your transit positions of the planets are, second house, 10th house, 11th house. And I see the lords also of these, of course. That is one of ways to look at as well. Retrogrades, combust periods, if we have to review something, if we have to expand something, we need to see these periods. They do matter. First and the foremost is your chart. You see that. But I have monthly basis, I have certain companies or organizations who are on roll. They come back again and again, of course, to make decisions, contract signing, if they have to realize some funds from someone, when should we ask for that? So they do that. Then we do see the Ashtaka Varga points also. We have to see that. I do that. What are the Ashtaka Varga points for city or market selection? When we do for each city, then we do see the uh, you know uh, uh, Mercury's ingress, which is very important with the tech and analytics, and Venus, which is the consumer and luxurious items. Jupiter is education and finance. I see that also. Then Saturn is for infrastructure and compliance, and these have to align with each other, no? Until unless they align, how can we make a decision, about launching anything or hiring people? You hire a person who's just going to ruin your company, organization, then how will you do it if you're hiring a wrong person or at the wrong timing? We don't know the other person's horoscope, of course not. But there is definitely a timing, I use. I put up the chart of that Prashna Kundli that is there. Is this person going to stick around? And it has happened that person didn't stick around when the kundli was not in favor. If there is a malefic in the lagna, in the first house, that person is not going to be there. He or she is not going to stick around, or there is some malintention of this person. That's something, which is the basic law, the basic I see. And I help organizations grow like that. At least I can avoid the bigger losses, if not doing the bigger, gains. At least the losses are averted this way. Hmm.
Yes, I thought that would be a good question to bring up, because we often talk about this, and I've gotten Bob in businesses, and she automatically is like, okay, let me look at both charts. Let me see if it's even going to be a good partnership and how that's going to play out and what's the period of time. We
Hmm.
have discussed this in the past. So I thought that
Hmm.
would be a great question. Now,
No, that was very important. And we just can't, even for conception there are timings. We can, for conception also, for marriage also, Muhurta plays a very important role. Earlier times, actually, the sages used to check the Muhurta only for using astrology just for Muhurta. They that during this time we should conceive, during this time we should travel, during this time we should be doing a particular task. So that there is no hurdle and there is no discrepancy here and there. But when we talk about nowadays, people have started to come back, of course, for Muhurta reading also with me. So if they have to purchase a vehicle or a property, or they want to marry, synastry, all that, Muhurta for marriage also. So these are very important, not just for business growth, for each and every aspect of your life. Don't depend. I'm not saying that become handicapped because your dependency should be that much. But do remember to make some major important decisions in your life, you should go for the Muhurta reading, I would suggest.
Mm,
That's very important. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, that brings up a good point. I think about how amazing astrology in the sense that you can avoid a lot of, let's say you're slated in your chart to go to a hospital. Then you can just literally, astrology will tell you, okay, well then go to a hospital, sit there for a little while, and then leave. And then you'll evade that. It'll be like a remedy to avoid that. So those kinds of things are really interesting. And I get a little bit tidbits all the time from her about these kinds of things. And I'm like, oh my God, really? That's
Oh, she
amazing.
herself is such a wonderful tarot reader. She doesn't need me. No way.
Oh, thank you. But I think that it's more difficult to read for yourself, especially if you feel emotional
I
about
get that.
something,
Yeah.
you know? So it's good to have another person's opinion on things because they can see the outside where sometimes it's like painting a picture. You're so close and you're just like, oh my God, I'm not seeing it. But then when you talk to another person, they can say, no, but this is really what's going on. You see the bigger picture? Okay. So that's why I really do talk with her, and she's such a good friend about these things. And then if I have an issue, I'd be like, okay, what's going on? What do I need to do with this?
That's
So that brings up the next question that I was going to go into because, on my channel as well, because I've been reading tarot so long, I tend to try to teach people when I do readings because I feel like it's important to get the right information out there. So I feel like you need to as the fact that you've been doing it for 30 some years, you could give these students a real benefit by, I wanted to find out what advice do you give to new students learning Vedic astrology so they don't make the same mistakes that you did.
Oh, I made so many mistakes. So many, many mistakes, actually. I'll tell you the mistakes first that I made. Then I will come to the advice also. See, the first thing that I was so thrilled and excited about learning astrology, and I said that I want to predict on the day one itself. That was the major blunder that I made. And I started to, like we were supposed to calculate and draw and pull the chart, out, manually. There were no systems, there were no, softwares at that time. So it was really difficult for me and for everyone at that time. So what happened, um, I used to obviously like doing that, but it was something that I wanted to finish fast so that I can start predicting. Patience was not there. I was so young at that time. I wanted to just go and jump into it and do it. First, start simple, go deep, start simple. Now, I'll tell you what I did, after that, when I got a good spanking from Dr. Rao, Dr. Ken Rao, make separate notes. Like nowadays, people do it, they have different folders and files online, they type and they have this. I used to write everything. So I had 12, notebooks for Rashis, 12 for houses, 9 for planets, and 27 nakshatras, one notebook. So I've got them. I purchased in one go. Those, I'll show you. They were like this, like these notebooks. Okay. I hope it's visible like this. So it was a simple way of doing the write ups. So the basics, I started with this. I started to write each and everything, whatever I used to see, I used to write into it. If first house signification is so and so, from any book I used to read, I used to write it. If there is something different I came to know today, I will go back home and I will write it. That is why I say start simple, but go deep. Write about everything. That's the best technique. If you can't write, of course, you can type nowadays and you can just fill it up in your, journal, or like just on your system, on your computer. So you can do it. Don't jump into reading the classic books straight away. Brihad Jataka, Brihad Parashara Hora Shastra, Jatak Parijat, Brihat Samhita, Laghu Parashari, this Parashari, that Parashari, whatnot. People start reading the classic text and they don't understand and can get confused. Just don't jump into it. Don't get too overwhelmed. Just start with the basics. You will definitely be doing well in the future if you go by this way. And also, Panchang. Every day journal the moon's transit and the Panchang, 5 angas, that is the 5 parts of moon's transit. So you have to know what Tithi, what's the Nakshatra, what's the Yog, what's the Karan. We must know these the 5 parts of this. Okay. Panch, 5 ang. Ang is the parts, the body parts, as we say. Okay. So the layer by layer, you will get to know, okay, first see the natal chart, start seeing the natal chart. Now start connecting the dots. You have those 12. So first house, Mercury, okay, in Cancer sign. Okay, there is a Mercury. Now you make this as a, this is a chemical quotation, as we say. What was that? What do we call that? Equation, sorry. There's an equation now. So you write the first house is so and so, there's a planet. So start from the first house. Then see, that's the way it should be. Then see the dasha, then see the transit towards the end, and then start verifying the divisional charts required. Okay. So now you can simply just start with the basics from the beginning again, and you will see there is a lot of difference rather than straight away going to the Argala, straight away going to the Aruda, straight away going to the Dharakaraka. I request you, I beg of you, don't do the Gemini astrology on day 1, please. That's not the right way of doing astrology. Don't ruin astrology, please.
I would tell you guys that, believe me, this is only scratching the surface of how much knowledge this woman has, okay? I'm seriously, sometimes she really does blow my mind with like, I'm like, what? Oh my goodness. That's why I'm
Oh,
always
Jennifer,
telling
you're
her,
so kind.
no, but I'm always telling you, like, please do classes. Just do classes. Come
I
on,
know.
come on, do the classes because I'm telling you, you will benefit so much. I learned so much about astrology, so much about Vedic astrology from her. She's such a good teacher, like seriously. And she gives you, like, I've been studying astrology for many years, but until I started, like, you know, being her friend and like I'll go to her and I'll ask her things and I'm like, oh my God, I learned it this way, but you're saying you should do it this way. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I tried that technique and wow. So believe me, this woman has a vast knowledge. She does. She really does.
Thank you.
And she does it the proper way. That's the thing. Like the problem is there's a lot of people out here. It's kind of like I remember, I'll just give you an example, okay? Years ago, when I had my spiritual awakening, I decided, okay, I'm going to learn how to do meditation properly. Okay, so I go to this meditation class, and the woman is reading from the book, and and she claims that she was doing meditation for so many years, but then she's like reading from the book, and people are asking her questions. She doesn't know how to answer these questions, and then, you know, after many years of studying how to do it properly, I realized that there are people out here that just kind of wing it and kind of just get information from there and there, but they don't really know how to properly do these things. And then they're misteaching people stuff. And that's what you learn when you go out there and you take classes in astrology. You learn that there's a lot of people out there that are misteaching things because they didn't learn it properly to begin with, but because they've been doing it that way for so long, and maybe it could be a financial benefit, who knows, they're doing a disservice for a lot of the students, right? Even in the tarot community, we have that same problem. That's why I always like try to correct. And that's when you watch her trans videos, you'll see she'll talk about the different things and she'll give you more clarity on how it's properly supposed to be done, because there is supposed to be a proper way of doing things, because that's how you can become
Yeah, it's
accurate.
sad actually, Jennifer. It's really sad to see because, you know, people, when they see that they have more subscribers, they want to go to those channels. and the essence of astrology is getting lost. I'm really worried what will happen. And people then, they just don't want to bank on astrological predictions any longer one fine day when nothing clicks, because they're going to the wrong people, wrong astrologers. Maybe they are listening to the ones who are not experienced, and that really is harmful. That's really harmful.
Yes. And you don't realize it, that you're hurting people. Even how people handle clients. Like, I have many clients that will come to me and say, this person said this, and then they spiral because of the fact that they got some very toxic information, and the person didn't handle the client the proper way, and then the client is sad and upset, and is more sad and upset because of the fact that that person didn't handle that reading a proper way. So you deal with that too, and the way that she handles things, when she does give you bad news, or things that could be a difficulty, she coats it in such a way that a person is not going to spiral because of that information. It's going to be more empowering. And that's what we need to do for all the new astrologers out there. Keep that in mind. Like, what if you heard these kinds of things?
Yes.
How would you handle it if you had those kind of things that were said to you? Like, oh my goodness, I remember I was talking to somebody, and they said they got their astrology read, and the person said they were going to die at this time, and they were going to be this age. I'm like, why would they even give that kind of information to that person? That's awful. Like, that's not a good thing. So then the person can't live their life because they're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die at this age.
Right.
That's really bad. That's a disservice. I'm sorry, it is. I think you've already answered this question, but I do have a final question. So, which upcoming transits should people pay special attention to right now?
All transits are important, especially the big movers, especially Saturn, stationary direct, Jupiter retrogression, Mercury is going to be turning retrograde. See, even if it's a small transit, it has impact, always. I never ignore Mercury's transit, because it definitely impacts our communication. It definitely impacts our market trends. Whatever happens, it it has to have linkage with all the grahas. What are they? How are they connected with each other in the sky? That is also very important, actually. Whenever we are talking about Jupiter's transit, it's a benefic graha, but it can give you negative impact also. Remember, he's the one who takes you into isolation. People will not tell you this, but Jupiter does that, because Jupiter is one planet, Brihaspati, Guru. He's the Devata Guru, Deva Guru. So he has that, self-respect, ego. If you consider it, like we are discussing about a human being, suppose, who is very egoistical, or who's a teacher of yours. Teachers are not egoistical, but they have their self-image, self-respect, and they don't want to, ignore certain things, and they want to share with you, the actual facts also. They will tell you on your face that this is wrong. So they need that respect. So when Brihaspati doesn't get that respect, if he's in, forming a connection with the inimical graha or planet, he will not be happy. So even if it is exalted Jupiter we are talking about right now, but in your natal chart, suppose you have a Rahu there or a Ketu there, or not Ketu, I would not say Ketu is negative to Jupiter, but if you have a Shani there, if you have a Mercury there also. So we have to see, even as a matter of fact, Venus and Jupiter combination is not considered that good. So we must see what exactly, because, just by looking at the transit, we cannot just say that this transit definitely is going to be giving you some generic predictions, of course, as I always do. But how is it forming a connection in your natal chart? Maybe Rahu gives excellent results, in your natal chart if it is transiting your Aquarius sign right now. Maybe it is in your 11th house already, or maybe it is in your 10th house. It will give very good results. But yes, mainly we should focus on the all the grahas. Right now, when Jupiter is turning retrograde, it's important. Mercury is turning retrograde, stationary retrograde on the 9th, 10th. It's important. Then we have Saturn turning direct. So it is going to station first and then it is going to get direct. I've done several videos on these, and there's a lot of information in the beginning part with the remedies also, practical remedies as well. You must see. Also, there is a Gandanta season or eclipse season that we are heading to also with Scorpio and I've written somewhere, let me tell you. Suppose Mars is going to be in Sagittarius sign from 7 December to 16 January next year. So it is going to be crossing that Gandanta zone, no? It has to cross the Gandanta to all the grahas who are going to be from the water sign to the fire sign. This is a very important junction point, Jennifer. This is very important, which people should not ignore. And if you have any planet in that particular zone or on that point or on that degree where these planets are transiting at that time, it will definitely give you some ripple. I call it a ripple effect. It will. And you're in the dasha, suppose, of Mars only. What will you do? If Mars is in Scorpio in an natal chart also. So we must consider all the grahas in the transit very, very essentially when they are in these zones. So transit of Saturn, transit of Rahu Ketu, transit of Jupiter. Apart from that, we should definitely see the sun's position every month, where it is. That is why it is called debilitated sun. Seasons are caused because of sun. So how can we ignore sun's transit? Moon is our mind. Every 6 hours we can change. Our mood can change every 6 hours because moon will be crossing the Navmansha every 6 hours. Each Navmansha every 6 hours. So in 54 hours, it will be crossing 6 hourly each, the 9 Navmansha. So 6 into 9 is 54. So can you see 54 hours moon stays in a particular house? So it will give the impact, no? So that is how it works. And I see not just the major movers, but even the small transits matter. And of late, I've seen that, transits are really creating havoc in personal lives also, and in on the global plane also, because of Rahu in the Aquarius sign. I've seen Ketu in the Leo sign creating troubles in the romance, and people getting, in isolation. They don't want to. Sometimes, you're in isolation and you're just, on the entertainment spree also, but you're still having that vacuum. So this Ketu is doing these things. You're a loner. You don't want to mix with people. That is what Ketu in Leo sign does. So you must understand the pulse of the planet. What is it doing to you? And that you will know yourself. Why am I not mixing up with people? Why am I not able to trust people nowadays? So that is because Rahu is in the Aquarius sign of community. So that is how you should study yourself. So my way of doing astrology is empower you people to do it yourself. Even the transit videos, I give all the information so that you people become aware of it, that how you have to look the transits, how is it to be incorporated in your natal chart, how you should strengthen yourself. That is my main goal. Okay, that's what I spoke a lot.
I'm telling you guys, believe me, we're only scratching the surface of this woman's knowledge. I'm telling you, I'm always mind blown by like, oh my goodness, like, wow.
We can just go on and on. I just thought.
I know. That's why I'm saying I want to encourage your subscribers to comment below and say she should be doing classes, shouldn't she? Just say yes. Okay, just comment.
Oh God, it's so difficult.
If she gets enough people, she'll just do it.
Yes.
But
yes,
I do feel like I've taken up enough of your time, my darling, and I so appreciate you. And I know I've only scratched the surface, but I hope you guys have an understanding of this deep friendship. We've known each other for so many years. So of course, I definitely have had a benefit of being her friend, and I appreciate her so much. And I love you.
I appreciate you so much. You are super accurate in all the tarot readings that you've done for me, for my family. I must tell you, she is superb and she's really intuitive.
Thank you so much.
She is intuitive.
You know, I said that to you also.
Thank you.
I love you so much. And
love
thank
you
you
too.
to all the
Thank
viewers
you so much.
for letting us talk to you today. But I hope that you love her now just as much as I do. Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you,
Thank you,
darling.
everyone. Thank you so much. Om Tat Sat.